No vibrato in your singing voice? This video is about the pain and suffering until you get it. Hi, I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. I'm going to talk to you about what it was like for me not to have vibrato in my voice for 44 years. Please hit the button, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when I upload a video, okay? It hurt not having vibrato in my voice. Not physically hurt, but mentally and emotionally it hurt. I feel like I was born lacking something that others were given freely at birth. Why didn't I get vibrato at birth? Why wasn't I born with it? You may remember that my teacher told me when I was 15 years old that if I wasn't born with vibrato, I didn't have it. And I believed her because she was a really good teacher and she was a well-known singer too. She also had her master's degree in voice from a popular university. She recorded an album, which nobody did back in my day unless you were the Beatles or Iron Butterfly. I knew nothing about the technical aspects of singing. I had no other reason to doubt her. I think I knew I could fake vibrato, but never tried to because that would be faking it. It's painful not to have vibrato because all my friends had vibrato in their voices. My best friend Ted, who was an awesome singer, had vibrato. We sang everywhere together. We both had leading roles in our high school plays our last 2 years, and our magical group, which we'd been in for 3 years, was earning its way to Europe for a 3-week singing and sightseeing tour the summer after our graduation. We had some great singers in our group. Becky and I sang a duet from the Fantastics called Metaphor. It was really fun to sing with her because she was the best soprano in the school. I remember singing the big finish, the ending of the song, love, love, love. I remember the last note was the D4. And for me, as a bass, at that time in my singing, it was right next to the top of my voice. And I felt like I might break at any moment. For sure, I felt like I was under pitch sometimes. If I could only do vibrato, I knew it would help me get the last note better and more on pitch. So at times like these, this gave me the feeling of just being lucky to sing a duet in the madrigals. I often felt like I was at the edge of vocal disaster, slightly under pitch and ready to break or crack at any moment, especially when singing a song like that. No one ever said anything about it. I just felt like I wasn't as good a singer as my friends. To be honest, I wasn't. I didn't have vibrato. When I got to college, I became aware of all the great singers in the Department of Music. They all had vibrato. Plus, they could sing amazing high notes, which I couldn't. I couldn't sing any high notes, let alone amazing high notes. So it was kind of like the 1-2 knockout punch of self-incrimination. No vibrato, no high notes. What could I do? I was a very experienced performer and choir singer, but inevitably I began saying I wasn't a soloist. I am a choir singer, which made me sad, through and through. I was denying my true passion, that of singing and performing on stage, especially in the leading roles. Now don't get me wrong, I was no wallflower. My last year in high school, I was president of the choir. I'd been a leader in my madrigals. I'd played King Arthur and Camelot my junior year, Enoch Snow and Carousel my senior year. A group of us had been singing together almost every day for 4 years. I decided to major in music and become a high school choir director like our friend and teacher, Mr. Ferris, who'd influenced me so positively during those years. We made it to Europe and had an amazing experience. We'd worked hard to achieve this dream, and by the time I got to college that fall, I knew I could accomplish anything. But I couldn't sing with vibrato, and I couldn't sing above the E. At the university, you were no longer the big man or woman on campus like you were in your hometown and school. You're surrounded by kids who all did similar things, although I've never heard anybody that went to Europe with their magical group. As a result, the competition is fierce. Maybe not openly, but status is bequeathed upon the gifted singers as well as the scholarships, although I didn't really know any freshmen who had vocal scholarships. This was also a church school. We had kids from all over the United States, all over the world. Our biggest groups came from Utah, California, Arizona, and Idaho. I grew up 1,000 miles away from Brigham Young University, so I knew no one. I did become close friends with a department graduate assistant who auditioned me for one of the choirs. He encouraged me to take voice lessons, but I didn't have the extra money at the time. One day, in about the first week of school, he walked into the rehearsal room of the oratorio choir, and he's standing at the door, pointed at me, signaled with his finger to come with him. I got up in the middle of the rehearsal and left with him. He said, "I've decided to teach you lessons for free." And he taught me voice lessons that first year of school. But we never talked about vibrato. He said he was sure I could sing higher than the middle E, but didn't know how to get it into my voice. So we worked on tone quality, breathing, and other things. Even though I was benefiting from his confidence in me, still I was losing confidence in my voice. Until the following Christmas, I had a major fail in a solo and became so discouraged about my voice, I stopped singing solos. I didn't sing a solo again for 25 years. I sang in church choirs, but with a straight tone, no vibrato, because I wasn't born with it. I never spoke with anyone about it. I had several other classes at school that first year with professors of singing. One was a language pronunciation teacher, and the other was a vocal group class. No discussion of vibrato ever. It's kind of like I was born without an arm, and so you don't talk about it. And everyone knows that you were born without it. What else is there to say? Later, I took lessons from my sister-in-law, who was a vocal teacher and performer. No discussion of vibrato. I had another lesson from an opera singer. No discussion about vibrato. It really is something comparable to a handicap you're born with and learn to accept and live with. So I said to my teacher, Deborah Bonner, a Seth Riggs associate at the time, I didn't have vibrato. And she said to me, anyone can get vibrato. I was skeptical. I think I was in a group class with her and one or two of the other students who said, sure, anyone can learn vibrato. So I started learning to get vibrato in my voice. I could tell right away that I was doing something like vibrato in my voice, and the more I did it, the more exciting it became. It felt awkward at first, very artificial and forced, anything but natural. And even though I did a little in the exercises, I couldn't sing a song with vibrato in front of an audience for several months. It became apparent that this was a miracle, an absolute miracle to me. It was as if the heavens opened, parted, and vibrato grew in my voice. I felt it was unbelievable. Add to that, the exercises I was learning to do began increasing my vocal range. These were miracles to me. At that time, I was 44 years old, learning that I could have had vibrato in my voice when I was 16, and I could have sung with it all my life. My teacher, when I was a teenager, wasn't trying to deceive me or withhold information from me. She just didn't know that she didn't know. It may be that her teachers didn't know either, or because she could do vibrato, never needed to be taught how to get it in her voice. But somewhere along the line in her education, she was taught to believe that if you weren't born with vibrato, you don't have it. I have no ill feelings about it. It all worked out. But what a joy it has been. It immediately improved my voice, my tone improved, my pitch improved, my confidence increased, my songs, it just got better. In no time, my vibrato felt like something I wasn't even thinking about. It's just a natural part of my singing voice. It's made a huge difference in my life because it's enabled me to audition and win leading roles in musical theater, sing for public events and solos in choirs and churches. It's as if I was born again, this time with vibrato. I'd love to hear your vibrato story. Is it similar to mine? Let me know in the comments. I hope you have not given up about singing with a natural vibrato. It's 100% possible to learn to sing with a vibrato, so natural, everyone thinks you were born with it. Here's a link to a vibrato playlist. There's a bunch of great videos about learning vibrato that will help you. I've also created a course, Conquer Vibrato, Inside Second Nature Singing System, which I'll make available to my fellow sufferers. The link is in the description below the YouTube video. Let me just say, whatever pain and suffering and discouragement you felt about vibrato, there's an equivalent joy waiting for you when you learn it and start using it in your voice. I won't say it'll feel like a miracle to you, but the confidence it brings to your singing is off the charts. It will change your life. I'm Chuck Gilmore with Power to Sing. For you, vibrato will not just feel like second nature, it will actually be second nature.